Okay, what is going on, CYPRX YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, how to trade them properly utilizing technical analysis, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Guys, in today's video breakdown, we're going to be covering some XRP technical analysis, a very interesting price action breakdown to say the least, how manipulative price action is. But before we get started and all that, first, I would just like for you to, consider smashing that like button. It really does help boost the YouTube algorithm. Definitely also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. Okay. I'm going to give you guys some information that I found on the internet of things. And I want you guys to have an open mind perspective on them. Again, just reading articles that I found, giving you guys a general overall opinion of mine. You guys know that YouTube is very conservative and they don't like you voicing your opinion, but I'm going to read some things for you guys here today, give you guys some gems and some websites that I want you all to take a look into and dabble in on your own research, okay, and formulate your own opinion. So real quick, before we dive into this, XRP analysis, and if you guys have been following my YouTube page, you guys know what I mention when I say they are in control of the market. They are manipulative in price action. Their goal is to capitalize on taking people's stop losses and then moving price action in their favor. And you guys know my overall perspective on the long-term outlook of XRP, when I think it's going to move. Obviously, of course, it is artificially suppressed by the theys, the elites, okay? Whatever you want to call them, it doesn't realistically matter. We all know that price of XRP is artificially suppressed, okay? So without further ado, I'm not really too entirely sure how awake my overall YouTube subscribers are, okay? But I'm going to do my best to awaken you all with the knowledge and information that I've accumulated. Now, again, this is just dabbling into, dipping your toe into the water. This is nothing compared to what I could release on the internet via books, research, private investigations that I've done on my own, okay? But this is just what the internet will allow me to disclose to the general public because, of course, obviously, YouTube is very conservative and they don't like people that speak freely, okay? So this is very interesting. I found this on my Instagram. It popped up. You guys can follow my Instagram page, Cyprus_Domanicore. That is my personal Instagram. That link is in the description down below if you guys are interested in following my insight on Instagram, where I post on my story consistently almost every single day, trades that I place, things of that nature. But anyways, okay, just to cover what this is. All right, this is crazy to me that I never knew this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I guarantee you that the majority of individuals did not know, all right, that there was an owl on our United States $1 bill, okay? And why is this owl significant? A group of owls is called a parliament, okay? Now, why is that interesting? If anybody has done any research on the esoteric agenda that is globally saturating our whole entire world infrastructure right now, you guys need to wake up and do some research. And I'm going to give you guys some research tools here in this video breakdown on how to do so. So just reading what this is a post from Project Knowledge. This is an Instagram that gets taken down quite often because of the outrageous Instagram posts that they make surrounding freedom of speech and freedom of information. Okay, but they posted this today, about 6 hours ago. All right, and it reads, the Bohemian Groove incorporates the owl and the bird serves as a mascot of the club, standing as a symbol of knowledge. Because of this, a hollow owl statue that stands 40 feet tall is positioned at the head of the lake found at the Grove. Now, if you guys don't know what Bohemian Grove is, I'm not going to read the rest of this. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a breakdown on what Bohemian Grove is. Okay, getting into detail on what this is, show you guys a video from, a very interesting whistleblower that I find, very informative to the general public. Okay, so giving you guys a little bit of a resource if you want to know more information on the Bohemian Grove. Okay, I highly suggest that if you are a 9-to-5 working individual who's looking to escape the matrix and open up your mind a little bit, have a more open perspective on what's really happening, again, behind that closed curtain, go look and research this book. This is on Amazon. You can get it. Just search up Bohemian Grove book. It's $12 paperback, but it is The Secretive and Strange Bohemian Grove is an elite men's club hidden deep within a 2,700-acre redwood forest in Northern California, where each July the most powerful men in the world gather for what's called their annual summer encampment. Okay. All right. So you guys can go and get this book. I highly suggest it. I've read it. It's very intuitive, very informative. Like I said, I can't sit here and base my general opinion and tell you guys what I think of this. All I can give you guys is resources and tell you guys to do your own digging. Now, looking at what this has disclosed to us, and stick around again, because I'm going to And if it seems like I'm being very vague, okay, the reason is because I'm trying not to get this video taken down off YouTube, okay? So this was posted by Louis Ingit. I hope that I didn't mess up Ungit. I hope that I didn't mess up this guy's name. But look at this, okay? And what I want you to pay attention to, the significance between this video that I'm going to display to you guys and another video that I'm going to display to you guys on a news posting that was posted yesterday, okay, is the way that these elites, the way that these theys react under pressure. When they know something is up, when they know somebody is onto them, watch this guy's emotional reaction. Any psychologist, any normal individual can see that this guy is nervous, that this guy is hiding something, that this guy does not want to be pressed by Alex Jones, who is classified as a whistleblower. You know, if you guys have done any research on who Alex Jones is, or if you're interested in, go research podcasts with Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. Go research who Alex Jones is and what his overall agenda is surrounding the elites. All right, so this is a little snippet of an article that I'm going to play for you guys, and just watch this guy's reaction. Alex Jones is pressing this elite individual. Alex Jones is a guy who breached the Bohemian Grove gathering. Okay, I'm not too entirely sure what year it was, but he snuck into this secret gathering of the elites, of the overall agenda. Okay, and like I said, again, you guys can go find this book. You can read on it. I'm going to show you guys another little interesting snippet that I found on the internet. But so check this out. Watch how this guy reacts to Alex Jones pressing him about what goes on at Bohemian Grove. This is crazy. Hold on, let me turn it up.
That's right. Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there.
You took,
we deserve to know.
You took it. I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really?
I'm sorry. You took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film, and you did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them after.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment. This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you and goodbye. That's none of your damn business.
Oh,
that's right. Listen.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. Two things that I want you guys to just pay attention to. Okay, first, let me just backtrack. Okay, to the United States dollar. I didn't believe that this was true. I didn't believe that there was an esoteric agenda on our money, okay, until I really started doing research. Now, again, this was back when I was in the military, a few years ago. I served in the United States Army for 5 years, and the majority of individuals that follow me on Instagram know that. And I was highly speculative of all the esoteric power that is surrounding our, currency here in the United States. And when I saw this post, I was like, there's no way that there's a little tiny owl on our dollar. I've been utilizing money in my life ever since I can remember. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen this. So I went and grabbed a dollar, and I have a dollar here in my hand, and I went and looked at it. And literally, if you turn the United States dollar over to the face where George Washington is on, okay, and you look at the top right-hand corner, right above the little tiny dollar emblem, there is in fact a little tiny freaking owl. That is insane. That is insane. Okay, so I'm going to get into why this is significant and how you guys can do some research on this. I do apologize if it gets a little bit noisy. My gardeners are outside cutting the grass today, so I didn't expect that or plan on that. They came a little bit early. However, okay, so back to what this guy said on Twitter, okay? He said that he's been there before, okay? So he confirmed that it is a real place. And when Alex Jones pressed him about the ritualistic stuff that goes on, he responded with, "That is none of your business." What? Guys, this is literally confirming again, and this is not even diving into all the rabbit hole stuff. This is confirming the elite's overall agenda, what it is surrounding cryptocurrencies, the stock market, the global elite's infrastructure changing what is going on in our world right now, okay? But this is just to show you guys that the rabbit hole goes so much further than anybody realistically knows. Okay, do your own personal research. Again, I can't display to you guys my overall, opinion. Okay, my personal belief and opinion, because YouTube doesn't like that. But so just to finish off, okay, this is a couple of snippets from the UC Berkeley's archives here in California. These are some old pictures of Bohemian Grove, and I thought that I'd just display them to you guys. All of these ritualistic occult gatherings and things of that nature. I mean, this is insane. Okay, and again, these are global elites. These are presidents, high-end political officials, government entities. I mean, this is insane what goes on. And nobody in the general public is allowed access to this information. Okay. Now, if you guys are interested in doing a little bit, deeper personal research on this topic. Okay. I know that this video is a little bit shaky and possibly hard to understand because I'm trying, again, not to get this video taken down. But this is Gaia.com. Okay. I have a personal membership to this paid subscription website. You do have to pay for a subscription, but they have a lot of eye-opening documentaries, and two that I highly recommend if you want to dabble into this agenda and learning more about the esoteric agenda and what goes on at places like this, okay, and why the owl is very significant, okay. I highly suggest watching these two documentaries. The first one is Sirius, okay. It is called Sirius, It Is Time for You to Know. Highly recommend this. This is a documentary on Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm not too sure if you all are familiar with his works, but I highly suggest this one, and then as well as the Esoteric Agenda. These are two very intuitive documentaries, okay, that I highly, highly suggest if you guys are interested. Again, this is Gaia.com. You guys can go. You have to subscribe to the website. Now, they do have a free subscription. So again, this isn't advice, and I'm not telling anybody to go and do this, but this is an idea, or I guess I can't even say it's an idea. Let's just say, okay, they have let me just put it this way. Hypothetically speaking, if someone were to create a free membership because they have a free 7-day trial, if I'm not mistaken, and they were to go and watch, these two documentaries, had they be interested in them, who's to say that wouldn't work? Okay, question mark, right? You guys catch my drift. Okay, so they do have a 7-day free trial. And, all I'm saying is that's up to you to go check that out or not. And then possibly, hypothetically speaking, if someone were to do that and they don't want to pay for that membership, could they or could they not just cancel the free membership and cancel the subscription? Right? Question mark. Okay, so anyways, this is, in that film, just to break down what that film is, to say it is a conspiracy theory is an understatement. The fate of our world is not in the hands of people, okay, as it may or should be. Rather, a growing body of evidence points to the ancient esoteric order that is behind wars, famine, economies, and even mainstream media. From corporate logos to military insignia, we see their symbols every day, yet we fail to acknowledge the extent of their control. It is as if their secrets are hiding in plain sight. Would you look at that? Okay, again, piecing things together, you guys can go and do your own personal research. Now, moving on, okay, another little article that I have here. I'm not too entirely sure if you guys are aware of what's been going on at the Capitol, but there was a rally the other day, and FK Jr., okay, spoke at that rally, and he had some very interesting things to say, the least, considering the fact that I've put out information surrounding my personal opinion that have been taken down on YouTube surrounding the prolonging of the holding of XRP, the artificial suppression. Now, if you guys don't know what's going on, again, I can't sit here and say that it is happening or isn't happening. That's my personal opinion, and I can't voice that, okay? But what I can do is read this article for you. So, Robert FK Jr., okay? Again, I'm going to show you guys this little news article, but what did he say at this rally at the Capitol the other day? Okay, so reading this right here, and I'm not going to butcher this word, totalitarianism. I hope that I say that properly, but what we are seeing today, this is a quote, again, from FK Jr., okay? What we are seeing today is what I call turnkey totalitarianism. Kennedy told the rally audience they are putting in place of all these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It has been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. None of them have been able to do it. They didn't have the technological capacity. This is insane that he said this to a mass audience. Now, I want you all to look, again, you guys saw how this guy, this global elite reacted to the pressure that Alex Jones was putting on him. Look at these news reporters, okay? and watch how they react. Okay, watch what this guy says about the report that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. spoke, okay, to the general public. Look at this. Look at this guy's, it's hilarious. I'm just going to play it for you guys, okay?
You know, we have to talk about this very bizarre anti-vaccine rally in Washington today. Just strange stuff happening here in Washington, strange things afoot. Here's RFK Jr., the son of the former Attorney General. He's an anti-vaxxer making some incredibly offensive comments earlier today. Let's watch.
Okay, so before we go into this, remember, I told you guys about the vocabulary, the anti-vaxxers, the labeling that they're, putting amongst the general public, okay? And the fact that he thinks this is absurd, this is what's wrong with the world, is insane, okay? You heard what he said, okay? Watch this.
What we're seeing today, is what I call turnkey totalitarianism. They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. None of them have been able to do it. They didn't have the technological capacity.
Okay, so I'm going to let that sit with you guys. And again, you guys can go check that out for yourselves. This is Mediaite.com, okay? Now, why is this significant? I'm not too entirely sure if you guys are aware of the documentary / film, I guess you could call it, that is up on Netflix called Snowden. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend it. Now, I have to be very careful with what I say surrounding this situation, okay? So all I'm going to do here for you today is read, and I'm going to ask that you compare what this man said, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., just announced to the general public in front of the Washington, D.C. Capitol, okay, and what Edward Snowden's agenda was, okay? So read this, and again, I have to be very careful, so I'm just going to read this article. I'm not going to base any personal opinions. Who is Edward Snowden? If you guys haven't watched the Netflix documentary, go check it out. It's, well, not necessarily a documentary, but it is a film based off of the actual events that took place surrounding Edward Snowden. Okay, so Edward Snowden is a 31-year-old citizen, former intelligence community officer, and whistleblower. The documents he revealed provided a vital public window into the NSA and international intelligence partners' secret mass surveillance programs and capabilities. These revelations generated unprecedented attention around the world on privacy intrusions and digital security, leading to a global debate on the issue. Go check this out, okay? Try to compare the two. I'm not going to read the rest of this because, again, I don't want this video to get taken down. Okay, this is a very touchy subject for the general public and for the government and for our, platforms like YouTube. Okay, but back to XRP price action. Okay, now, I don't know if you guys paid attention to when I started this video, but I had these 3 circles marked off. Now, if you guys pay attention to what I teach here on the CYPRX YouTube, okay, you guys can clearly see that we have come and attacked early sell positions. Now, how could we have capitalized on this bullish move, this temporary bullish move on XRP surrounding that CYPRX strategy? Okay, again, why is this all significant? Why am I telling you guys about Bohemian Grove and the esoteric agenda and mass surveillance, and why it's significant that, elite government officials are coming out and speaking in front of public audiences, and why it's all correlated? Again, because you guys have to wake up and see that behind the closed curtain, okay, there's so much more than meets the eye. So pertaining the CYPRX strategy, what it is that we teach here, look what the market makers did. We have early buyers prior to 8:30 a.m., which I've told you guys exist. If you guys want to believe me, you can. And if you don't, then pass on this information to somebody else and maybe they will catch on. But look at what happens. We have early buyers prior to 8:30 a.m. where we can imagine before the New York session actually comes into fruition, where the bank and institutional money comes into the market, we see retail position, impatient buyers and sellers. Okay, the market makers know that. So what do? They come, they liquidate buy positions in the form of early premature 8:30 a.m. buyers from this area right here, this low. I'm not going to get into the fractal nature of things. This is just a 5-minute chart. What did they do to give us a key identifier that the market makers were going to come and push up into this liquidity area here? They gave us a retail pattern, a double top. Okay? Or we can imagine 90% of individuals are reading baby pips, or they're following some guru strategy on YouTube or Instagram or something where they tell them that retail resistance existed and this is the most predominant place to take sell positions from. Okay? Yes, of course, had they have been able to control their risk and they entered here at the top and they were able to move their stops to break even and take profit, this trade would have worked for them. But look at what the overall agenda, okay, of the market is. Again, proving the theories that I teach here on the CYPRX YouTube, which is what? That the banking institutions, these markets, okay, were designed to take retail traders' money. We can see retail positions existing beneath these lows prior to 8:30 a.m., which is again what I teach to you guys here on the YouTube. I teach more in detail on the CYPRX Advanced Course material. But we can see prior to 8:30 a.m., we see early sellers here in this area, and we see early buyers here in this area. The market makers came, gave us a signal that they're going to want to take retail liquidity to the upside in the form of sell positions above these highs. Double top positions, retail resistance. The market makers first come, grab and liquidate the lows beneath these early buy positions, and then they put in their institutional order to come and grab liquidity from the highs. Okay? Again, I do apologize for the noise in the background. Let me get off here before they interrupt the video any further. They're just doing their job. As always, you guys, we do appreciate the love and the support that everybody has shown so far on this YouTube page. Make sure that on your way out, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps boost the YouTube algorithm. As always, be cognizant, be aware, you know, I really hope that you guys are out there protecting your souls. Everybody take it easy, and I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.